Good. That didn't work anyway, as well as I hope it would. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to you all. I hope you all have had a lovely day, whether that be spent sleeping, or gaming, or writing, or drawing, or chilling. You know, varied days. People are allowed to have varied days, which are good. So today is not a flag stream for the simple fact that I was worried people were getting bored of it. I mean, I still have flags to do. I think I only have 4 left now. One of them being a redo, and one of them being a flag for a country which no longer exists. So I wasn't as fussed about 2 of them. So there were 2 new flags that definitely still need to be done. And I haven't done those yet, but I've done a lot of other flags. So, I think I showed this specific page. I don't know what the best way to show this is. I showed this page of sketches last stream on Tuesday. And I think I'd added like 1 or 2 after that stream, because I was still trying to figure out what was happening. And then I drew a dragon, because like, hell yeah, dude. It was important, it was for a reason. But, then, because most of these before Abiyan, which is split in half, and then I did more Abiyan sketches where I sort of changed direction because shenanigans. And then I went on to do some other bullshit for a different flag. I got some goddamn suns and shit. And so I've done more flags. Not all of them get sketches, some of them I do the sketches into Inkscape itself. But I like doing little text to sketches, because like one of the like core ideas of good flags is that you should be able to draw them small and recognize them, kind of. And so I've been futzing around with little sketches, plus it means I get to look at not computer for like 2 seconds while I color it in. Like a child. So, you know, flags. But I figured that I wouldn't do any more flags today, just because I'm a little tired and I think people would probably just be a bit bored by it. And so instead, we will be world building. Now, this is kind of complicated for the simple fact that there is a new challenge on World Anvil that starts in like 8 hours. Don't quote me on the exact hour time, because I haven't been able to figure out how time zones work. I think it starts at 6 a.m. my time. Or maybe it starts at 7 a.m. my time, but the stream starts at 6, which is in 7 hours. So approximately 7 to 8 hours from now, a new challenge is starting. So I don't want to start anything. So instead it'll just be a bunch of miscellaneous cleanup stuff. Hello, Kajatan! How are you? How has your day been? I hope it has been good. Ugh, God. It is warm in this house. It is awful. So I guess I need to think of something to do. I did already open this page, which has a list of all the countries in the hellscape that is Thrasin, and which is currently missing a bunch of countries. You can kind of imagine which ones. The ones that don't have the borders in yet, because I haven't gotten around to them. But I figured I'd probably just finish up the table, or at least put the flags in. I don't think I have the maps exported, actually. I should probably do that. Maybe I'll do that as well. Who knows? So now I need to footer section, figure out which ones I haven't put in yet. Which is going to be way harder than you would think, because I don't remember which ones I've put in or not. I guess we'll start at the top and work down. I have done flags for a lot of them, so I should be able to figure it out. And I can add in the flags as I go. So... this probably isn't going to load quickly. Historically, this thing does not load fast for me. It never does. And I'm streaming, so it will not run fast. Because somehow my master list of countries is not on... It's not in the table that is the current master list. It's spread between the flags folder, the, like, rollable table from the pledge article, and then the main continent article, and I'm like, oh god. And some of the information's wrong, so I figure I can go through and try and fix a bit of that. While I'm here doing things, this is not going to load quickly. This is always a problem. Okay, I will just open the other source of things. Okay. I think the first new country is, like, Riemann Buddy, so I guess we just go with the flags for everybody else for the minute. That's not gonna load quick. That is not gonna load quickly at all. Okay. Abby. Are you gonna load quick either? Oh god. This is one of, like, the monster articles that I possibly need to find a way to not do this to myself over it. It does not appear to be doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is a little frustrating. I also didn't save. Oh, Jesus. I've internally crashed it. Let's just refresh that. I crashed it a little. It's still loading the images on the other tab. Oh boy. Jesus, I've done the Thrasan article dirty. I'm gonna have to figure something out for a way to not have this article lag like shit. Possibly the way I'm gonna do it is I might actually take the spoilers and put them in a separate article. There's two spoilers. There's the country list and then there's the defunct country list. This list is way smaller because I don't give a shit. Well, I care, but, like, I don't care enough to do all of them. So it's just, like, the ones that are important. Or the ones that are mentioned. Like, these four, mainly. There are more, but it's mostly those four. Probably Huth Curry, but who cares? So I might... Because this is where a lot of the images are. And since a lot of them are just flat repeats, because they are, overall, like, map images. Because I didn't want to have two map exports, right? So every single country, or not all of them yet, because I haven't finished the exports yet, but all of them have a map like this where they're highlighted in green. So that you, the reader, and also me, the dipshit making this, know where the country is. And, like, ideally there would be a closer, like, more zoomed in version, but that would be useless for a overview, and I don't really want to, I guess, bloat the shit out of it. This is not Wikipedia, so instead I have to settle for having big images, which are large. Oh, the flags have loaded. The flags have loaded. They finally loaded. Okay, so maybe now I can include the Abiyaden North flag. And the Abiyaden South flag. Ursherworth has their flag. Bean does not have a flag yet. Bean does not have a flag yet. I think Bean and, like, Fossatasen are the only two that don't have flags. Which I don't think Fossatasen is listed either. I don't think I've already written in Fossatasen. Which I don't think I'm pronouncing correctly. If I had to guess. A, B, C, D, E, F. No, I haven't included Fossatasen. Okay. Okay. But it's double F because it's technically like it's like a really weird F, but I can't do ejectives, so I think this is East Horsehead. Not let's spell the Horsehead correctly. I don't have a map for it. I don't think. No, I have nothing for Positasen. Yes, I haven't finished that. I do have a Gizeh flag. Idravia has a flag. Kuviana now has a flag. Congratulations. Okay, Maureen had a flag. Muha Passin finally has a flag. I think I'm missing a country already, but let's not worry about it. Ochi has a flag. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Have I not done the Naochi Heed flag? Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. No, I haven't. Oh, I completely missed that in my list. Oh, which is blinding me. I did not notice it. It completely got lost in the shuffle there. Okay, so there's 5 that don't have flags, 3 of which are brand new flags, or 4 of which are brand new flags, and 1 of those doesn't matter. So 3. Okay, that's unfortunate. I didn't realize I hadn't done Naochi Heed yet. I'll get around to that eventually. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, I've hit a lot of buttons. Where am I going? Here we go. I opened Steam at some point. Somehow I opened Steam. Okay, we'll get rid of Ochi. Mimuji. I need Ovuk's flag, which I do have. I have done Ovuk's flag, for which I drew a dragon. It's not a good dragon, but I did draw it. There's Shun Urogla, which I'm not pronouncing correctly either. It's like Uragla? I think it's Uragla, technically, because of what can be generously called bullshit. Varzahath has a flag now. Vianitiku has a flag now. Drakanyu and Zunatooth has a flag, which I need to click the correct one. That one. Okay. Now I did miss a country in there. I am positive of this. So we got Fossatasen in there. Is Jayilba? No, Jayilba is in there. Of course it is, because I did it during Thingo. Hiesewi? C E F G H. No, I haven't done Hiesewi. Hiesewi. Post call, I know that for a fact, that's fine. West Horse Heads. And then flag is he. So then Idwavia. Kasei Kuviana. I'm trying to think of who the next one that I missed would have been. It's probably Reem and Buri. Of the ones that I have names for. Naochi Heed's already in the list, because they've existed for ages. I just haven't given them a flag yet. Muji should be Reem and Buri. QR. Yes, I am having to run through the entire alphabet every single time. Question marks. Island east south. And then that has a flag now. Buri. Shinirogla has a flag. Farzaham. Skipping a bit. No, I'm not, because then all the new countries should be on this flag list, because they didn't have flags already. So then Renitiki, then it goes to Winnoba. BW. And this will be Winulba, which is a hard south, no, I guess it's like east southwest island boys. I know what that means. Kind of. Win. Hold the flag. Move on. Ibsen Pris. And then I'm missing Yalarun. And I think that's every country listed. And so I have no idea. Oh no, wait. Ream and Buri is not that country. Oh, you dipshit. That's the wrong country. This isn't the island southeast. That's the landlocked, Uris thing. I know what that means. I do know where all these countries are. I just need to export their maps. This is the southeast island B. And then Yala. Yalarun. And then I think that's it. I think that is every country. Yeah, sorry. I think that's every country, and it is saving. So now we get to see if it crashes. Okay. I don't know if that loaded. It did. Excellent. Okay. All right. So we've got. So these were the really problematic, or not in the culture sense, problematic in the sense that I couldn't design them for shit. And I'm not convinced, but they look fine, so it's okay. Those were the two that all the sketches were about for the most part. Wood, Bean doesn't have one yet, and yes, their name is Bean, pronounced like the word bean. Tarzan doesn't have anything yet, which I feel bad about. Zoe has its flag, which is pretty cute. Guviana. Muapasines is funky and means nothing. Ovux has a dragon. I told you I drew a dragon. Don't look too closely at the dragon. It's fine. It looks better at a distance. God damn it, I have to reopen the goddamn thing. Can people not do burnouts in my goddamn backyard, please? Christ. Hi, Day! Hello. We feel like there's a country missing IRL. I mean... a little. A little. Sometimes. Then again, if I tried to list every country, I'd be missing about 20 of them. So I feel like I'm always in the mood of I'm missing a country. I think all of these have their stuff, though. And I'm pretty sure I don't flatten these because it would break because of spoilers. Oh yeah, and I had this one I'm not totally sold on, but I did a flag with a fish on it. In case it isn't obvious, I did not draw the fish. I selected it from something. What's an anime where, because of economics, Singapore vanished from reality? I beg your pardon. How does economics disappear a country? Not in the sense of, like, a country collapsing. It just kind of... poof? How? How does that happen? I'm bewildered. Well, a clown house. Anime's weird, yo, anime's weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Atlantis would be cool. Atlantis would be cool. I don't even have an Atlantis, which is kind of disappointing. Technically I do, but it kind of doesn't count. Your explanation isn't even that off. That's why anime is terrifying. I think that's every country. I think. I have no way to check. I do have a way to check. I have a way to check. Because every country has a stub. So all of them should be in here. You should all be in here. So now the Abiadans are in here, but they're because it's North Abiadan, but in the table they're categorized as Abiadan North. because of shenanigans. Because I'm being consistent. Astafula doesn't count. Bean, Triladom, Dotsa, Doi, Jia, Ji, then the bottom. Eti, Fostin. I think every country's on here. I think that's every country on the list. Which just means I'm missing, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 flags. I'm missing 3 flags. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maps. I'm missing 5 map exports. And I could show that, but I haven't set up Photoshop to capture properly. And knowing me, it wouldn't work. Because Photoshop is a bit finicky with that kind of shit. None of Inkscape is set up for capture, nothing else is. So, the maps can wait, because it's not going to be interesting to watch anyway. It's just me selecting a layer, coloring it green, and exporting it. But I think that's every country, because I did combine a couple. Because originally the stuff like down here, all these tiny little goddamn islands that are just sitting here, there was 3 countries on them, including this bit of the mainland, like this mainland, and then there was chunk here. There was a second country like here-ish, maybe, and there was a third one that was just these islands, and I ended up just nixing this country down here and just splitting it. Because I was just, at that point, I was tired. At that point, I gave up and went, listen, you don't have to do this. I couldn't really justify making it all 1 country, but I could justify making it 2. So I just went, that'll work. That'll do it. Technically, it's maybe missing 1 country, but that isn't named yet, so I can't really do anything about it. And also, it might not be a country anyway, so screw it. And then I've been going through and making the borders look fancy with the map polygon tools that I get as a I think that's a Grandmaster feature, or it's a general guild member feature, I don't remember. I've been making some of them fancier because they were originally a little bit rough, for lack of a better word, as you can see. But I haven't finished, and part of me isn't sure I want to, purely because I think this is lagging the page out like nothing else. Because there's a, oh boy. Especially for countries with very wiggly borders, which is all of them. They all have wiggly borders. Not a single one of these countries has a simple border, except for, like, this one. This one's border is hella simple. It has none. It's on the ocean. It's fine. Like, that's easy. Hell, even this wasn't that bad. It's like, I don't know, maybe like 20 points. That's normal. Then you get to this. I forgot what country that is. Nimuji. Ugh. Gross. And that's a whole new mess. And that's, you know, completely the unit doesn't like that. And then there's this shit. Oh boy. There's a lot happening down here. And there was basically no way to do it well, and I don't know if I'm happy with how it looks, but the alternative is I have to trace around the enclaves in... I don't want to do that. It doesn't quite work. And then there's like all the old ones. So I think it's missing 1, 2, 3, I think it's 5 countries that aren't on the map at all. One's like Brexit, oh god. No. No. It is nothing. No. I am not getting involved in Brexit again. That happens way too frequently, and I don't have anything new to say about it at this point. Ah, jeez. What a world. So yeah, that was the step 1. I didn't really have anything else that I knew I needed to do. Well, okay, that's a lie. That is a lie. There was something else. Oh, I need to put my window notification down. Close your window. Okay, I think the other thing that I was gonna do was I was going to... Someone during the end of World Ember in the stream chat suggested that the way they do their like eras in their world, in their setting, is that they have an article for each era, which they link every time that era is mentioned in an article, like with relation to dates. So, like, for example, let's pull up a country who has a shit ton of dates in it. I think probably like a Zacha, right? Zach. Oh, I need to edit this a little bit. But you know, there's like Pier 34 Conquest. There's mention of... Oh, no, this doesn't have that many dates, actually. This is not the dates I'm thinking of. Farmer's Almanac? I don't know what the Farmer's Almanac has to do with this, I don't think. Like, I don't know how that connects. Oh, there's 27 peace over here. Which is, you know, a different era, and you would link to that. You have an article per chunk of time, basically. Because that way it's more obvious. Because then you make stubs. They're like maybe 50 words long, and basically all it says is for instance, the era of beginnings was 100 years long and spans from this time to this time. And I'm gonna give all the dates in the before collision, after collision system, because that's the same system that the back end uses in terms of math. That said, basically none of the Thrasan articles use the back end math, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Or they do, but I have to pull some bullshit. So, So, the idea is basically, you make a stub for all of these. I'm not sure what... No. This isn't like a diary or anything. That's not how, like, the World Anvil, like, article system works. What I'm saying is, like, I'm making a new wiki page for each of the slots of time that the actual calendar is using in my setting. Because in my setting, it's supposed to be 100 years, but it never is. I think anywhere from 20 to 100 years span of time has a different suffix. So, like, in most, like, Western countries, we use, like, BC and AD, or if you want to be fancy, BCE and CE. And, like, that's, like, the suffix on years. And in this part of the setting, you have, like, a full noun. So, like, the year 27 beginnings, the year 12 flood, that kind of shit. And basically what I plan to do is make a very short little wiki page kind of stub thing for each of these chunks of time, so that I can link them when I refer to them in other articles, so that people can more easily understand what's going on. Because otherwise I have to do a whole bunch of math for other people, and I hate doing math. I don't like doing math. I just need to fix that. I don't use schwa anymore. So, I need this up. Possibly, what's the best way to do this? And... no, come on. Basically... because I think it's a generic... I can't remember who did it, though. I think it might have been Delian? Not the DHSS. Not the DHSS. Why is this the article that shows up? This will get us here, I think. I don't know if this is this. If this was the. I don't think this was the person. I'm not sure it was Dillian. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was Dillian, unfortunately. How advanced is this land, would you say? The equivalent of kinda early 1800s with the magical twist. So it's it's not industrial because it's magic, so it's not really the same kind of thing, but it's of a similar kind of vibe to the 1800s. Kind of. That doesn't mean anything because I'm not consistent. So it gets a bit messy. Oh my god, this chair is disgusting. Okay. I guess make them generic articles, that way I can keep track of them. I don't have many of those. I have more than I thought. I guess make generic articles and throw them all in. So, era of beginnings. Era of beginnings. And 100 years from 102 BCC to... I'm trying to think what else would be needed. Because, like, in theory, these articles will then expand with more information about, like, the events of the eras, but the idea is just to make stubs for the minute, where basically all it says is, this is the very basic, like, math. This is the math helper. This is the math aid. And no one likes math, that's why I'm trying to help. Shit. What else would go here? I guess the only other thing... I guess one thing to put on it would be the era that precedes it, which technically no era does precede this one, but technically one does as a catch-all. There's a really vague catch-all of if you need to be consistent, there's an origins era, an era of origins which is reversed the same way that BC is reversed, but in practice no one really gives a shit about anything before that point. And if they do, they're probably more likely to use the regional system that relates to that era. Like area. So like if you're talking about on one of the country articles from Worldbuilding for the elf country, I think I gave a approximate date of founding in terms of an origins date, but in practice, if you were talking about that country's foundation, you would refer to it by the calendar that they were using in the elf world at the time that the country was founded. So that's a completely different system because I don't know what the hell they use. I have no idea. I'm not even entirely sure which article that was. I know I mentioned it somewhere. I mentioned it somewhere. I couldn't tell. I think it might have been this one. Maybe. Orange? In... I searched origins and you said there's no, the word origins is not here. Okay. I'm positive I've mentioned it somewhere. I don't know which article would have it. I'm positive I've mentioned Origins somewhere. Not that Origins, the era. God damn it. That's in the standard. It's mentioned. It's in there. I don't know. I know it's in. I know I did it at some point, but none of these articles look familiar enough. It's not the Lawrence. There's no way. That would be nonsense. Possession? No. Who funds war? No. Don't know where it is then. Maybe I made that up. Or maybe that's in my notes somewhere. I don't remember, but I remember a wood alloy? I don't remember a wood alloy. I know I've mentioned there's a blood alloy. There is a blood alloy, there is not a wood alloy? I don't know. I knew what I was talking about at some point, I think, but I've lost it. I made a note somewhere and it's gone, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's disappeared off into the void. It's probably on these post-it notes that I have been accumulating. Dear God, there are so many post-it notes. And they don't even stick, so they're pretty bad post-it notes. I need to go back on the pile. That's the plus pile. But yeah, I guess I would mention that it's preceded. It is preceded by the era. I would probably make an article for the era of Origins, just say. Maybe. No, I wouldn't, because I'm not going to have enough events in there. Sub-goal for an assistant. No. Oh god, that's not going to happen. That is not happening. Cool as it would be, this is not, there would be no, god. No, this isn't even a paid, like, project. This is just for fun world building. There's no way I would get an assistant on this. I think my notes have just, like, I've just lost a note somewhere. I'm positive I have it. It's just, maybe it's in the Discord. Who knows? Origins. No. I don't know. I'm sure it was kind of related to something, but, I don't know. Maybe I had this Origins and then changed it. Like, I mentioned a year and then I went, nah, I need to mention this, and then sent it off. Or it's in, like... No, there's nowhere else it could be. I must have just written it in and then changed my mind. Wait a minute. No, hold on. No, I'm pretty sure it's mentioned actually in this article. Yeah, no, I did mention it. Ah, god damn it, I knew it. I mentioned that this specific country was estimated to have been founded at this date, which I don't think I specified how long ago that was, which is not clever. I probably should have done the math, but I didn't. I did not do the math on that one, but I have used it once. But that one I can just link to the calendar. I don't need to make a separate thing for that. So it's preceded and succeeded? I think so. So... do I want to just make all... I wish I could make them en masse. But that would be easier, but it won't help. Era of continuance. Continuance. Yes. I'm just gonna put create article on that. We'll deal with it later. Needed by the era of continuance. Yay! So it's literally just a... and then the idea is when you hover over it, this is what you see. And that means you can go, oh, okay. And you can, you know, do the math a little bit easier. The only thing that would be missing would possibly be saying how long ago 922 BC is. But I feel like the current year is mentioned on the front page of the world, so I don't think I need to necessarily. As long as it's like, as long as the internal math of an article makes sense, or the timeline makes enough sense, you can go, oh, okay, sure. There will be some jumps, but like, it's like, okay, it can be followed. And I do have an idea for something to make this fancy, but that is not something I'm going to do right now. I'm going to just do all of these very basic ones first. And I'm going to put this as, I'm going to tag this as calendar, actually. Lowercase calendar. I'm going to tag them all as calendars so that I don't forget. So that one's done. We can then go to this one. And they're public so that people can actually see them. But I'm not going to share them because that would be nonsense. The era of continuance lasted, or I said spans, didn't I? I said span. Why are they the word spans? Who uses the word spans? I'm going to say lasted instead of spans, because spans is a little bit too silly. Spans. Okay. So, Irmhans lasted 27 years. Yep, 27 years. From da-da-da-da to da-da-da-da. It is preceded by the beginnings and succeeded by the era of destruction, right? Yes. Big boom boom. Boom boom baby. This is fairly tedious work, unfortunately. And I'll possibly chuck them all in a thing at some point. Or I might make them subcategories. Sub-articles of the thing. of the main calendar. Am I spelling preceded correctly? And am I using that word correctly? Yes, I'm spelling preceded. Am I using succeeded correctly? What? Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, I am spelling it wrong. I spelled it wrong there. Yes, it's like a follow. Come after and take the place of. Yes. So, double C. It's like, did. Did I spell it right here? I don't think I did. No, I did. I can spell sometimes, but not others. That's normal. That is very normal. Yeah, so we'll put that there. Then we will... I'm gonna actually just copy this as a template to work with. Make this a little bit quicker. Calendar. Destruction lasted 53 years because he didn't die for 53 years. The old get. Is preceded by continuance, and succeeded by redemption. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't think I would remember that one. I have not done a lot in that era specifically. Not for any reason, I just haven't bothered. Okay, and succeeded by redemption. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. I mean, we'll just keep doing this for ages. And that's what we'll do. That is what we will do. Oh. I didn't think that through. The era of redemption lasted for 60 years. 60 years. Because the medieval era was busted. From. It was preceded by the destruction and succeeded by the conquest. Conquest. I'm now just reading ahead at this point. Most of this I do not remember off the top of my head. I could not list them all if I had to. Because that's not how this works. That's why I have an article for it. Conquest. Save. Calendar. Save. Public. Cool. How does it have more words? How does some of them have... What? I don't know how that counts. I have no idea how that counts. Listen, I ain't in the business of asking questions. The year of conquest lasted like 64 years. Yeah, boy. 24 years. From it was preceded by the redemption and succeeded by that's the plague. The plague. The good old plague. I love the plague. I do not love the plague. We are not fans of the plague. And that is why I don't write anything in that era. I could not be bothered. In my defense, I put that era in like December 2019. So there's like one event there, like the plague. The titular plague is present in the era of plague, and there's like one fight at the end of it, which the plague's gone by then, so who cared? Okay, oops, okay. And then I'm gonna come back and add them into this, maybe. Or I'll put them at the bottom. I think I'll add them into the table. Do people ever ask if I'm from Boston? I have never gotten that. That's a new one. That is definitely a new one. No one's ever asked if I'm from Boston. I can't off the top of my head remember how a Boston accent sounds. But I don't think mine's close. Because they're from Boston. It's a Boston accent. And that's not what's happening here. This is not one of those. Unless this is like... No, I feel like even outer Boston sounds like Boston. They got that aw. They love the aw vowel. I don't got that. I do not have one of those. That is not a vowel. That is in my dialect, which is, for the record, it's supposed to be Victorian English, like Australian Victorian English. It's not, but that's what it's supposed to be. Lasted how many years? Like, I don't know, 62? Oh, okay. Boston is definitely a new one. Oh, I didn't put the word years in there. From to... No, I don't think so. Because, like, I've met a guy from Boston. Or technically, he wasn't from Boston. He was from broader Massachusetts. He was from outside of Boston. He specified. But his accent was strong. Because we were in, like, English lit class at uni. And most of us are, you know, Aussie kids. And he just goes, he's got that strong Boston vowel. And I'm like, whoa, holy shit. It's a noticeable sound that most people don't have. He did. This is Conquest. And it was followed by Collapse. And succeeded by, well, I think, like, at some point, you know, I try to do those, there's, like, those quizzes on the internet where they'll ask you questions about, like, words you use, right? So, like, do you call a carbonated drink, do you call it, like, fizzy pop or soda or Coke or whatever? where it's asking you a bunch of like dialect questions that are like lexical, so what words you use, not what sounds you use. But a couple of them are sound-based, and I think every time I've done them, it's given me a completely different answer from completely different areas of the US because I'm not from the US. So the answers I'm giving do not make sense. Because Australian English is a completely different dialect, so it's just pulling a bunch of weird stuff. It's a weird combo of stuff. Oh, that's a long era. Holy shit. That's a way longer era than I thought it was. Damn. That's rough, buddy. Like, I think it tends to give me either more New York, and I definitely don't have a New York accent, but like New England kind of area. Which I think it gives me New England area because Australian English borrows more from English, like British English, and New England, kind of by definition, also has a lot of English like slang still in it. So it gives me like the Northeast Seaboard, and then it gives me like California, and I'm like, okay. It's those two areas, and maybe like a sprinkle of like Cascadia or something. Throw me up in Washington and I'm like, oh, okay, sure. But I think it's usually like New England kind of area. Which I keep forgetting if New England's a state or not, but I know it's like that area up top. A little bit of New York. Not a strong New York accent. It's definitely not strong. That's not how this accent works. It doesn't help that, like, you know, when you're at home for ages and you're just online, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, you pick up a lot of accents. I have not been around enough Australians lately. I've been around more Australians this year than I am usually, kind of, but not a lot. So, You know, it kind of, accent gets a bit rough. It's been more American in the past. It's actually not, well, it's peaks and roundabouts. Sometimes it's more American than others. It's usually just because I mess up my my R's. Because Australian English doesn't have R's, kind of. And sometimes I put them in there because I've been listening to too much YouTube by Americans, and so I'll just put an R in there. Like, you know, like, calendar, it's just calendar. You don't put calendar. You don't say it like that. But that's the kind of thing that I would do by accident, because everybody else does it. Not that strongly, I'm doing it badly, because, again, an Australian doesn't put the R in. So, preceded by this would be the plague, yes? By the plague, and preceded by, followed by peace. Damn. I don't think you have that strong of an R. Definitely not as strong as an American R. Or at least, like, that's why it keeps putting me in New England, because New England kind of area is non-rhotic. They don't put the R in there. As opposed to, like, the Deep South, where they put that R in hardcore. That's kind of their thing. Distinct R's. Right, okay. So you're not putting the R after the vowel, but when you have an R, it sounds weird. That is fair, I think. I don't know. I'm not a linguist. I'm not a linguist. I don't know nothing. I can't analyze video speech. Trust me, I've tried. Because I had to do that for an assignment. It did not go well. Like car. Well, that's where the American rhotic goes, because like in British English, or like, yeah, so general British English and Australian English for the most part, it's ka, kind of. It's basically K, A, well, it's just a long A, ka. That's a bad accent, but it's like ka, as opposed to car. So it's ka and car. And I usually go for ka. The vowels are a bit funny there, because to be fair, Australian vowels are bad. Australian vowels are bad. bad. They are wonky as hell, man. Oh boy. You know, peace. There's a lot of errors in here. I feel like people in New York might know. I feel like they probably could figure it. Well, maybe they couldn't. I don't know how many Australians are in New York, and my Australian accent isn't very strong, but I don't feel like... I feel like they would either assume I'm from Australia, broadly, South Africa, which is a very kind of curveball, but they could sometimes say South Africa, New Zealand if they're being, like, bad at languages, or they're going to assume I'm from the West Coast. Those are the only options. There is no other option. Those are the three places they would assume I'm from if they're in New York. I think. But I'm biased because I know what my accent is. So, can't place your accent unless you're Oka. Right, if you're going full on like, g'day mate, how you doing? All that kind of shit. I can't even do it properly because I'm just like, what? Someone asked you in Melbourne if you were from Denmark. That is weird. That is just... that's a curveball if I've ever heard one. That is a curveball. That is not how... Scandinavian accents sound nothing like Australian accents. At all. Because the Scandinavian sounds British, generally speaking. Or they sound German. Those are the two options. If you're from Scandinavia and you've learnt English, you either sound British or German. Sometimes a little bit of American, but you usually sound British. It's wild. This was 100 years, right? Don't close it. Hey, it's 100 years. Very nice. That is very odd. It is quite strange. Oh, lost it. I've definitely gotten asked if I'm from America before, but Australians are not good at placing American accents. So they never go into more detail, which is always frustrating because I want more detail. I want them to tell me where they think I'm from, but they never know. Like I had someone, because I was being like a loud, noisy child, like 4. I'm like singing on the balcony or something, and some kid shouts up, "Are you from America?" And I just stop singing and run away. That kid was never going to specify what that meant. That kid knows nothing. I don't even know what accent I had when I was 5. I'm assuming... I actually don't know. Because I know what it would have been based off of, but I couldn't tell you, like, where that would have placed my accent. Because I don't have video footage of me when I'm, like, 4. So there's no, like, evidence. Meanwhile, there's evidence of my accent when I was 12, in which it just sounds bad. I was 14, actually, so I've got 14. That's it. Oh, yeah, no. American accents are annoying to place. At best, I can recognize a Boston accent very quickly just because of the Boston. That's it. That's it. I can recognize generally if it's not from the Northeast. Or Northeast, yeah. Because Northeast is non-rhotic, and usually you can tell if there's a rhotic in there. That's it. There is no hard and fast, yeah, it depends on population density and history. Exactly. It's not a simple, like, oh, if you're 10 miles away, your accent will be this much more different. It's basically just, it depends. Like, for instance, in Australia, Melbourne is a similar distance from Sydney as it is to Adelaide. Now, I know they're different distances apart, but they're fairly close. Like, Melbourne is here, Sydney is up here, and Adelaide is over here, right? They're similar distances apart, but Melbourne and Sydney sound fairly similar. Melbourne and Adelaide don't sound similar at all, because people in Adelaide and that, like, in the state of South Australia, they sound a lot more British, because South Australia was settled, or was colonized later than Victoria and New South Wales. So their British accents are a lot stronger over there. And so even though they're similar distances apart, and there's similar amounts of like, you know, strong road infrastructure, they are just they don't sound the same. It's preceded by the collapse and succeeded by the I assume it does, but I'm not good enough at world building to put that in any confidence. Okay, I will get to that showcase in just a minute, I promise. I'm literally just gonna finish up this one and then we will get to that. So it's era of flood, not building, generic, deed. Here we go. Flood. You've done it. Ugh. You've done it. And welcome, Raiders! Welcome, Siobhan. Stay true. Raiders! Ah! And welcome, Dazzly. Hope you guys had a fun, productive, enjoyable stream. Things got done. Stuff happened. Discussions were had. We now have a showcase to get through, so you've arrived at the perfect time. You arrived at the perfect time for showcase time to happen. You nailed it. I know what article this is. I know what article this is. Oh god, I know what article this is. That's what my is done. Nice! Oh, and thank you for the follow, Kindar11. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will take a break from whatever the previous thing was. Shenanigans were happening. We have now entered the showcase, which is the article Hannah Jan. I'm assuming it's Jan, as opposed to Jan. Jan Masel, whose full name is Hannah Robertovna Masel. You probably would have dropped that 11. Oh god. It would be great too, but like, I'm assuming somebody already has Kindar on its own. Okay, cool. So it is Jan. Okay, so Jan Masel, born Hannah Masel. Oh yeah, now I know what this is. Oh, I know what article this is. Oh, this kills me. In case people can't read the trigger warning because of the size of the screen, the trigger warning is sexuality, discrimination, lack of acceptance, and transgender. You can possibly read between the lines there and figure out what's happening. If you can't, the very next, so, Jan Masel, born Hannah Masel, is the son of Robert Masel and Richeza. Jan is a transgender person who was born as a woman but identifies as a man. Oh, so you did edit it. Oh no, because I remember checking this out really briefly. I think when you put it in the showcase, and I think when you put it in the showcase, you had mostly used she, her for him. But I see that you have actually edited that, which I appreciate a lot. Just you know, I appreciate that a lot. Even though I know exactly what you were going for previously, I prefer that you're using the pronouns that he actually uses. It's way better that way. So yeah, Jan going, I'm not a woman, I am a man, to his father. And that does not go well. Yeah, exactly. There have been edits and I'm glad to see them. Exactly. Because, like, as I said, I saw it when it used she, her. I know the artistic reason that it used she, her. I prefer that it uses he, him. Because that would, it's just better. It's more true to the character, even if the world would not be using those pronouns for him, unfortunately. Okay, so mental characteristic, the personal history in his early life. Hannah was born in 1298 Church, together with his twin brother. Despite being born as a female, he has never felt comfortable with being a girl. He hated dresses and all the things girls and women were supposed to do. Hannah has always envied that his brother could learn all the exciting things men do, that men do, like sword fighting, hunting, and strategy. Meanwhile, his mother was teaching him how to be a good noble lady and sewing napkins. Leaving home. At the age of 20, Hannah's father tried to marry him off to a nobleman. Hannah protested. He said it wasn't what he wanted. His father became angry for disobeying him. This was when Hannah came out as it's not as a transgender, Kajatan, it's just as transgender. So this was when Hannah came out as transgender. His father said that, oh boy, that he is a disgrace to the family and must leave. Hannah left the castle and was never seen again in southern Krakia. After leaving home, he abandoned the name he was given at birth and chose to be called Jan, a common name in House Marcel. Despite being thrown out from the family, he still felt a connection to it and wanted to show that in his new name. That's cute. I like that. That's a nice touch. A moment he considers the end of Hannah and beginning of Jan is the first time he bound his breast with cloth. The purpose of it was to make it easier for him to pass as a man. However, he never cut his hair. He believes, it's spelled as believes, but it would be believes, that there is nothing wrong with a man having long hair. Hell yeah. Krakorod. I'm pronouncing that weird. Krakorod. Jan reached Krakorod, the capital of the Krakian Commonwealth, and settled there. In the city, he found a few other transgender people who became his friends and supporters. Life in the capital is good for him. Finally, he can live the life he wants to. Yay! Yay for Jan! Happy for Jan. That's the good stuff. Despite the sad result, Jan considers coming out to his father a big success. The burden of hiding his identity was lifted for a while, and Jan felt good. However, it ended the moment his father started shouting and called him a disgrace to the family. Yeah, it would be like that. Oof. Being forced to leave home and lose contact with the family was a massive trauma for Jan from which he hasn't fully recovered yet. Probably he won't ever recover from it. Yeah, it's not easy. I'm not saying that with any experience yet. Oh god, that's not a good joke. Sorry. Oh boy. You have a good time. Oh boy. Okay. So Jan wants to find a place where he would be able to live as who he is, which is a man. He would also like to find someone to share that life with. He likes nature, open-minded people, sweet food, and cats. He dislikes being told what to do, and his father. It do be like that. Jan lost contact with his family after leaving home. The atmosphere in which he left wasn't too good. His father, mother, and brother said they don't want to have anything to do with him, and he is a disgrace to the family. Hannah knows that there is no returning home. He was raised as a Susanite, but he believes in the version present outside of the Commonwealth, as it believes in gender equality and transgender people as equal to the rest. Okay. Susanite being they worship Lady Suzanne. Okay. Family was surprisingly positive. So your family was surprisingly supportive. Ah, yeah. Well, that's good. Oh yeah, it should read Jan. Oh, oops. Yeah. Okay, so it should read as Jan here, not Hannah. It's good that your family was supportive. Some people are, and some people aren't. Unfortunately, which is why I am not out yet. The only place I forgot to change. I mean, it can get complicated, you know, like keeping track of names, especially if it's changing partway through an article, is not going to be easy. It's always like complicated. I'm formerly a princess of Lestraza. To women, not to. Jan is attracted to woman, singular woman. I do like it. I really do appreciate the changes you made, because I did check it out briefly when you'd first made it, And again, I knew why you had written it how you did, but it definitely, I prefer it this way at the very least because it takes Jan's side more and, you know, represents Jan the way that he wants to represent himself rather than how the people around him might, which is nice. Lucky enough to have transgender great uncle. That helps. That will help, won't it? If the family already has one, makes it a little bit easier. Which is great. It's good when that happens. But I do like the article, and I like that the hints that it gives to the world, because I don't think I've read a lot of the articles in this world. So it'd be interesting to read some of the other stuff about the Commonwealth and the Susanites and such. It's very interesting. And there's also Mieszko and Robert. I'm not pronouncing Mieszko correctly, am I? I'm not saying Mieszko right, am I? I have no idea. I'm trying. I heard someone pronounce it like Mieszko once, and I was like, that's it. Almost good. Okay, I'm close enough. Listen, I don't speak, I want to say Polish. I don't speak Polish. I'm gonna just assume it's Polish. I don't speak Polish, so I try my best. Dutch. Damn it. Well, no, because isn't the name Mieszko Polish? Shit. Mieszko's a Polish name. Okay, got it. Alright, I was on the right track there. And since, like, I don't know Polish, so... names get hard. Yeah. You know, we figured it out. We got there. We got there in the end. We figured it out. We did it. I got close enough. I'm sure it is, like, you know, there's a different vowel or something. Yeah. Polkraki and Commonwealth is based in Poland. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's why it's called a Commonwealth. It's like Polish Lithuania, basically. That makes a lot of sense. That's cool. More Eastern Europe. Bring in more Eastern Europe. We don't get a lot of that in fantasy, I don't think. More Eastern Europe. Okay, now I'm back to the tedious thing I was doing before. Which, for the record, basically what I'm doing is I'm making an article for every single one of these calendar eras so that you can, like, I can link it in an article, you can hover over it, and it tells you how long it lasted. And you can do the math. I know a lot about the Commonwealth because I know it exists. That is already a great step forward. Ah, okay. Krakian is from Krak, a legendary Polish ruler. Ah, I didn't know that, because I think that's a fair amount earlier in the, like, history of Poland than I've ever gotten. I think I've only ever really gotten to, like, somewhere inside of Polish Lithuania. And then I've gotten confused, and then I haven't got any further back. I've gotten in the ballpark. Ah, yes, okay, so it is Krakow. I wanted to say that it sounded like Krakow, but I, for a moment, wasn't positive that Krakow was in Poland. I could not remember which country Krakow was in, so I was like, I'm not going to say anything about Krakow. Which I'm not pronouncing correctly either. But that's how English people say it, so that's how I'm going to say it. Oh god. But I was in the ballpark. I figured it out. The only reason I got it is because of the name Mieszko, that's it. Because I knew that there was a, like, King Mieszko at some point, I'm pretty sure. At least one of them. Probably like 4. That's 16? Really? Wow. It's a really... thing is, from... There's a short era. I think it's the shortest era on the list. The next shortest is this one? There's a couple 27s. Yeah. Yep. Time to look and grab some zzz. Good night, Siobhan. Have a nice sleep. Have a nice sleep. Oopsies. Oh no. It is preceded. Mieszko 1, the principal Christianity of Poland. That's it. That sounds familiar, so I'm going to assume I knew it at some point. It is preceded by the era of peace. Yes. No. Yes. I got it. Preceded by the era of peace and succeeded by the... and then it's the era of drought. Wait, hold on. Wrong era. Wrong era. Oh no. Wrong era. I put the wrong dates. No. Lasted 46 years. It was a lot longer than that. Oh god, I can't read. I need to distinguish those a bit more, I think. I need to edit the yellow version. Because I can't say anything more about Polish history because I don't remember any of the names. So I can't say anything with confidence. Like, the best I have is I know that there was... what, Jadwiga? I'm aware of Jadwiga. As an individual who existed. More specifically that she was like the eldest daughter of whoever was the King of Poland at the time, or the Duke of Poland or whatever. And then she got married to Vladislav or whatever, and she was the King of Poland for like 10 years. I know she exists. And that is all I can ask for. That's history, baby. That is a knowledge of history that I've gleaned from, I think, Wikipedia. Yeah, the woman who was king, not queen. Exactly, yes, she was the King of Poland. I know she exists, and that's it. That's the only, I think that's the only reason, like, people, like, in terms of, like, rulers in that kind of area, pretty much the only reason that anyone in the West, so like, you know, England and I guess Australia by default, would know they exist is because they're like the one female monarch. So like we know, well, at least I know about Jadwiga and no other Polish Lithuanian rulers. And then I know about, like, say, Queen Christina of Sweden, because she stands out, even though there's been a whole lot of Swedish queens. But she stands out because, like, gender stuff. And I was like, boom, I know these things. I learn about those individuals more often than I learn about, like, the many, like, King Johns of Europe, of which there are, like, 50. In various languages, but they're all called John. When in doubt, if you don't know a king's name, just assume his name is John. Translate if you must. Call him Juan. You will find a John. Yes, Vladislav, I don't know how to pronounce the last part. Jagiello? Yeah, it's had a diarchy. Yes. I do vaguely remember that. And hey, DM Stretch! Hello! How has your day been? Has the day just begun for you? I don't remember. I keep forgetting where people are. But I did remember Vladislav Jagiello, because he had to convert to marry her, if I remember correctly. And that's about all I remember from that point. Someone tried to, I think Bulgaria was involved. I don't know, man. We're getting further from the things that I know. You'll find it, John. Oh, no. God damn it. I mean, yeah, correct. I mean, you will find a John, and you will find a John. You will find a John. There are many Johns. All throughout history and the world. Just finished my video chat with my son. Nice. Oh, he's getting into Cherry Project Discworld. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I need to read more Terry Pratchett. Because I read Mort back in March, I think. I read Mort in March, and then I borrowed Guards from the library and then the rest of March happened, and I didn't finish it. I barely even started it because I wasn't in the mood. I need to actually go back and like borrow more Discworld books from my library and read more of them. What's after Drought? I don't know. Renewal. Picture. Ooh, Color of Magic. Nice. And you're gonna buy him Light Fantastic. Ooh, nice. I think, what, is Color Magic one of like the early ones? I can't remember. They're all good. Is the basic gist. Terry Pratchett, good. Discworld, good. The first, yes. Okay, awesome. I thought it might have been. So then is Light Fantastic is that either the second book or the one that's a direct sequel to The Color of Magic? Because if memory serves, that's the one that like its protagonist comes back and has a second story later. But I can't remember if that's the second book in the series or if it's like the third. Yes! Got it. I remember my research. I remember some of my research. I was trying to figure out which books to borrow. Which is why I borrowed Mort first, because I couldn't find Color of Magic. And that would be a good buy for him. Because then he can carry on the story of the character that he loves. Which is awesome. Lasted 101 years. Oh boy. From. Oh god, we're not even halfway yet. Oh, piss. Oh god, there's so many of these. Is it or it was? I don't know. There's a lot of Discworld books. So there's that's plenty of birthday and Christmas presents to come. You can space that out. You can that'll last you a good couple of years if you buy all the Discworld books. Preceded by the Drought and succeeded by the, I believe it's Era of Plenty next. Yes, it is, and then Plenty was not very long. I probably wrote a lot, buy one each month. That still lasts like a good 2 years. That is a solid amount of presents. I'm just saying. It lasts a while. It's awesome. And they're good books. It's a win-win. Everybody wins. I really do need to go and, like, borrow them again. I should do that. I should write a note for that. I'll just do a note on my phone. I'll do it the normal way. The way that most people do notes now. Just so that I don't forget. Otherwise I will. BC, what does that mean in your world? In my world, BC means before collision. Not before Christ or anything. So it means before collision. But it's a similar, like, it's a turning point date in the setting. So even though this calendar doesn't use, like, technically, this calendar, the Thrasan Standard, doesn't use BC or AC, it does have an era of collision, which is the same basic thing. For one blessed 70 years, their dates are exactly the same. But only for that 70 years. The rest of it's bullshit. I probably should have an article for the Abravost calendar, which is like the setting base, because like this Thrasan didn't exist at the start of the setting, so all of the like technical back-end stuff is based off of Abravost, which makes things very complicated. Where am I even? I'm up to here. Here I am. Figured it out. But I'm putting it in BC, I'm using the BC AC dates in these articles just so that because it's the easiest to do math with. Oh, you want to buy the collection for yourself too? Hell yeah. Okay, hold on. I said, borrow Discworld. Here we go. I have set a note. I'm gonna make it. What color should a Discworld note be? Is my app crashing? God damn it. Oh, my phone is so bad. My phone is not good. It also has like a weird... It has weird text on it because I bought a new screen cover and it had text on it. And it didn't disappear when I put it on, so there's still text on my screen that shouldn't be there. It's a little bit weird. My app is crashing. Oh god, okay, there we go. It changed colors. We're getting there. I would like to. Reminder. Attempted to keep multiverse dates correlated and gave up and decided I'm not doing a multiverse. Hell yeah. I mean, yeah. That's entirely fair. I have the 2 calendars and that is enough. That is plenty. And like in the other setting, in Outremont, which is part of the Synergasia collaboration project thing, I haven't even started my calendar in that setting because I don't want to have to do the math. I'm scared of doing the math to figure out when things take place because I'm using a different a different year length, and I'm just like, oh Jesus. I hope it will be easier with Chronos because that would be awesome. I'm really looking forward to Chronos. Because we've only had, the only thing we've gotten from Chronos so far is the change where you can attach an organization and a person to a timeline entry, a historical event. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else comes out of Chronos. I'm really hoping it's a visual overhaul, because as much as I like how our timelines look, I kind of want them to not be a pain in the butt. Because, oh god, pretty much everyone who's done CSS will tell you that timeline CSS is one of those specific nightmares. It is a little bit of a nightmare. By the era of renewal, right? And succeeded by the era of war. God, I want Chronos so bad. I want Chronos. I wonder if, because I'm assuming it's coming soon, but it can't be like tomorrow or anything, obviously. Because like for the next challenge, it's probably going to be a character, and I'm wondering if they're going to make us use timelines for character. Because I know they had us use timelines for the organization last year. So I'm wondering if they'll do the same, and then it's like, oh, but if Chronos comes out, then it means Chronos can't come out until February. Because if Demetrius drops Chronos in the middle of a challenge that uses timelines, people will lose their minds. Unless it's good, unless it's like a very soft change. People will then also lose their minds. So there's no winning there. Oh yeah, I really hope that events can be, like, represented in some way. Though I imagine that would get extremely complicated, especially for a system that wasn't built from the ground up for that. Because timelines are very complicated. Same with like family trees. Like they're really complicated systems. There are entire applications where their only purpose is to do those things. So I'm really wondering how, like, what kind of things Dimmy is actually aiming for with timelines, with Chronos. But I'm also assuming that guild members will get, or specifically alchemists will get a little bit of a sneak preview. So I'm looking forward to when he starts trickling some of the Chronos features out of the testing environment and into the Grandmasters and stuff, so they can have a play around with it. Because I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. Lasted 46 years? Yeah, boy. I know my dates. 6 years from to it was preceded by the Plenty. And succeeded by the, I believe it's reconciliation. Yeah, boy. The one era that does not fit. Like, in the table, I mean. Does not fit in the table. Recon. Bowling. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and make sure all of these are consistent, because I don't think they are. Which is why they have different wording numbers. Like, what, why are they all different numbers? How do they all have different amounts of words? You're all the same. You're the same article. What does it mean? 98? What damn? Jesus. That is way longer than I thought it was. I thought that was a way shorter event. Yeah, reconciliation. It's because nothing's happened in it. 98 years from... Somehow nothing has happened in reconciliation. That's a lie, but I don't remember what has. So, it was preceded by war. Year of war. And succeeded by the era of thawing, right? Yeah. Nothing's happened in thawing either. Which I also can't pronounce. Thawing? Era of thawing? 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 It's a really weird word. By the thawing. Why is there an R in that word? That doesn't make any sense. That's a pronunciation that makes no sense. I think I kind of get why it's there, but I don't know why. And then thawing is followed by collision, baby. Hell yeah. We're getting there. We're almost into the positive number dates. We're almost there. And that means like 7 more to go. Lasted 3 years from it was preceded by the recon, right? Nation and succeeded by the, and now I'm gonna add another goddamn collision article. Collision. And then I'm gonna have to go back and put these in a category or something. Coal. Oh god. There's 3 coal articles and one of them's collapse. Ah. Okay. They all have different word counts. Why do they all have different word counts? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like they have so many different word counts. I'm not personally a fan of that. No. Okay. Collision. Lasted like 7 years, right? Yeah, boy. Yes. 1 to 70 AC. Was preceded by the thawing and succeeded by the ascent. Yeah, boy. God, I'm good. I know some of my setting. Ascent. Some of it, some of the time. But only some of the time. Ask. Fallen. Oh, I forgot to make that, words. Ah! No. 1 AC 2. Hey, okay. Alright, ascent. How does it have 6 words already? You don't got nothing in there. The era of ascent lasted for like 30 years. AA 59, okay. about 59 years from we're getting there. We're almost into the modern era. We're almost 200 years away. Needed by the call and succeeded by the era of discovery. Yeah, boy. Remember that one. Here's where we get into events that I remember from recent history. In the setting, anyway. Because this is like the last, like, 300-ish years of stuff happening. So things, like, occur. I'm pretty sure there was a war in there. I'm pretty sure that somebody had a war in the era of discovery, but I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the Hufon's War? Probably. Wasn't that long of an era, but you find time. Discovery lasted 89, I'd say? 88. 88 years from date to date. Was preceded by the ascent and succeeded by, and I already read that. I read ahead because I didn't know it. Era of growth, and I'm pretty sure that after growth is famine. I'm pretty sure the next one after growth is famine, because plague part 2, electric boogaloo. It happens. It loves to just show up. Oh god. I don't like the look of that. There's HTML in my tag box. Okay, we're good. I know exactly what I did to do that, but oh no. I didn't like that. Okay, and then it's growth and it's famine. As I said. Genius. Era of growth. Growth lasted like 40 years. 63 years from it was succeeded by the... I've immediately forgotten what the previous one was. Discovery, right? Yeah, by the disco. And succeeded by the era of famine. I go generic. Famine, baby. Rainbow plague. Putting blisters on the soul. God damn it. Stop clicking it so fast. Beep. Stop being so aggressive. You're breaking the button. Stop it. And I think famine then goes into disturbance, which is nothing has happened in disturbance. Lasted not many years. Now, I didn't remember disturbance. I had to read it there. I'll then have to try and see if I can remember what happens next, but I honestly don't think I know. How many years? 46. 6 years from that's not the right date. I know, well, no. Oh, I didn't hit copy. That's why it's the wrong date. 2. It was preceded by the growth. Spell the word growth correctly, please. And succeeded by the disturbance. As tedious as all this is, I think it does. I mean, it'll be useful because it may. God damn it! Stop hitting it so fast. It means that Not only can the date math be a little bit more clear to readers because they can hover over it and see kind of at a glance, like, oh, okay, this previous date happened somewhere in this span, and this date happened in this span, so I can get a kind of headspace view of roughly where in time, like how far apart these events are. Like, you know, if you get an event in the article where it's like, this event happened in 46 war, and this event happened in 27 growth, you can pull up both of them and go, oh, okay, there's 300 years between those two events. You know? Which is useful. I think that's a good thing to have. And also it means that I can write about Thracian specific events. Like, for instance, in this disturbance article, the disturbance is basically it's the Thracian term for what in Abravost is called the separation. And that's because it affected the two countries completely differently. Like, there is no overlap in how those two continents experience the event. Mostly because in Thracian they did not experience it at all. They felt a weird shift in the air and they went, that was weird, and they named an era after it. That was it. Meanwhile, in Abravost, portals destroyed and everything, because in Thracian they didn't have portals at the time. They had not developed that technology. They weren't using planar magic, as it's called in Abravost. They had no goddamn clue what was going on. So they were just like, something weird has happened, and the gods are acting funny about it. That's it. That's all they knew. So this is preceded by famine, I'm pretty sure. And then succeeded by, I'm trying to see if I can guess. Which is pretty bad that I'm guessing, considering this is a recent one. It's not contact. It's not return. It's not contact, it's not return. Actually, wait. No, it is contact. That's the year of contact, isn't it? Yes! God damn it. I knew it. You're a contact, baby. And succeeded by the... Because I knew, I completely forgot that 53 was the year of contact. Which is when the people of Thracian met merfolk. Which is, again, an event that is unique to Thracian. In Abravost, the other continent, they have not met merfolk. They don't know what the hell one of those is. Like, they kind of get the idea, and they probably have some myths and stories relating to fish people, but that's about as far as it gets. They have not actually seen any. I think the sum total of people from Abravost who have seen merfolk and survived is 3. And that's because they were in Thracian at the time. They were in Thracian in such a way that they could not go back and tell anybody. That's the era of return stuff that's happening. Lasted like 33 years? Yeah, boy. So, you know, that's a thing that happened. And these are events that are unique to Thracian. A lot of the eras are based off things that are not global. Meanwhile, the Abravosti calendar system, such that it is based off events that are global. And some people in Abravost have argued that, so they currently use before collision and after collision as their demarcation. So they presumably invented the calendar sometime in like the 20s to keep the records, because you wouldn't have invented it previously. And some people have been like, hey, you know, the separation was an equally kind of era-defining event. Should we now have a third era called after separation? So BC, AC, AS. And everyone has said no because that makes things complicated. Specifically, I've said no because I don't want to do it. It was preceded by the era of, oh shit, disturbance, and succeeded by the era of return. No, of return. And this I can actually do it in here. The era of return is the current era in the calendar. It began how many years ago? 39 years ago on in 387 AC. It was preceded by contact. Oh god. Oh, and it's putting a bunch of spaces in there. But that's an article, baby. You can put return in here. Put that in there. Calendar. Draft. God damn it. Brah. Hit the button. There you go. Thank you. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird. I don't think I even have to open this article to check it. I can just put it in here and hit publish. There it is. That's a published article, baby. Wow. That is a lot of articles. Oh, there's a bot. Oh no. Get out of here. Get yeeted. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. That's new. That's a new one. I don't usually get that happening. Usually it's just the one, but this time there were 4 of them. I managed to delete one before the rest of them came, so that was a record. I have a recurring dream on traveling on a boat to a land of ice and cloud. You think it's Valhalla? That can't be good. I mean, probably not. It's probably not a good thing to constantly dream about going to Valhalla. You know? But on the other hand, Valhalla is kind of cool. So, you know. How do they all have different numbers? How do they all have different word counts? Hello? What is happening here? Oh no. Oh no. It is preceded. It was. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It'll annoy me, but it's fine. As long as they're basically consistent in format, we have a system. This one has its tag, you just can't see it. Like Valhalla is cool. It's just weird that it's recurring. How can I mass move stuff? I don't think you can you? You can't, like, mass select anything. Damn. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, time to chuck them in. Time to do this the old-fashioned way. Because I'm gonna make them subcategories, or sub-articles of the calendar article. Wait, well, hold on. This is gonna look like shit, isn't it? Because how many eras are there? A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3 of them. That's probably gonna look awful. All on the bottom. Look all underneath it. This might be one of those articles where I put some special CSS in there to make it look less awful. But I think this is probably the best spot to put them. There's not really anywhere else that they can go. in terms of categorization. Not that my categories are particularly well defined or organized at present. That's probably the best spot to put them. Because they are, you know, directly related. That's kind of their thing. They will now... I don't know what order they're going to be in. I think they're just in a random order. That's great. That's good. I love when they're in random orders. I'm a fan of no order whatsoever. Possibly what I might do in addition to what I've already done is when I put in the excerpt, is put the which era it is in terms of like, is it the first era, the second era, the third era? Because then if you've ended up down the bottom and you really want to read about the eras some more and you don't know where to start, you know, it's there. What am I even up to? Plenty? Oh, gloves is good. There's still like 10 more to go. Steph. Oh, I didn't give peace its tags. Oh, devastating. How could this happen? I can't believe it. I can't believe I missed the tags. Oh, God. This has been a lot more tedious than I thought it would be, overall. This is the stream of busy work, I think. But I mean, it's gotta be done, or I guess it doesn't have to be, but it has been now. And so now I've done it. Because the whole thing was that I can't really start in anything because there's a challenge starting in like 5-6 hours. So I'm just like, well, shit. Kind of had to find something to do that wasn't flags because I didn't want to bore people even more than I already have. Okay, I realize I've made a horrible mistake. This stream was a mistake. Can I have a do-over, please? I think I need a do-over. This is not thought out at all. This was not well planned. I'm like, oh yeah, flags will be boring. And then I do extremely repetitive, boring stuff. God, I'm not smart, am I? What is in common searches based on time period, technology, and fashion? I'm not sure what you mean by searches. I think, if I'm a flags. I like flags, but I was worried I was getting boring with flags, so I stopped doing it. I've done a lot of flags, trust me. Woo. It's been a lot of flags. And there's only like 5 left, The Big Bang Theory. Right? I'm not sure I follow. I'm not sure I follow, like, the question. Like, I'm a little confused. Common search based on time period. And then The Big Bang Theory. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's 1 AM heat stroke brain is hitting in. Oh, Jesus. I knew it would look ugly. I think I have to fix this. Hold on. And I have to do something about this article before I move on. This will upset me. Trying to think what's the CSS that I can use for this. Because I think what I need to do is just remove the cover. Yeah, that's gonna do it. This'll do it. This is the plan. This is how we're gonna fix this. I have a plan to fix this. And while we're here, we can edit things. Oh, they did an episode where they did... Ah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, everyone has fun with flags. And hello, Bob! No, because today is technically still Saturday. Saturday is miscellaneous world building. Sunday is Minecraft Day. Which is technically in 22 hours. 22 hours is when the Minecraft happens. Oh, jeez. Oh. Flies everywhere. There are many episodes with fun. Many things have used fun with flags. Because we're all having fun with flags, I think. Okay, I hope this makes it look better. That looks way better. But it's also not in order. Which upsets me. How do I... How do I... Oh, good boy. Can I... How can I rearrange the contained articles? Oh, God. Screw it. Do I have a flag design for my home? No. I will concede that there is no flag for my house. But also, that is probably something that I would do if I was, like, in the event that I move out, I feel like getting a flag for my apartment, which I'm assuming I'm living into an apartment, I feel like that's what I would do that. I feel like I'm the kind of person who would. Or at the very least, I would get, like, one of my fantasy flags printed, and I would put that as my apartment flag. And yes, the flags upside down generally show distress, or you're at war, or both. And so my flag is permanently upside down. Oh no. How do I rearrange contained articles? Also, holy shit. Oops. Oopsie daisies. I don't think this is what Demetrius intended. I don't think he intended there to be 28 of them. Oh, here we go. I can rearrange them here. No. Damn it. No. How do I rearrange them? Codex, help. Codex. Codex. Where is it? Ah. Where is it hidden? God damn it. Where are you? God damn it. Oh, let me in. Let me in. How do I do it? Categories. I need to give them weights? Ew. Ew. That's gross. That sucks. I mean, I understand why. I'm just saying it sucks. Damn it. I'm also not on the right page of the codex. I'm on the other page. Children articles. God. That sucks. And it's only 23, not 28. Thank God. There's only 23 eras in the standard calendar. Only. But to be fair, that is 1,300 years. So, they've only done twice as many than they should have. Which you can blame on all the 27s. The ones that are like, and the 16. You can blame it on the 16, which I think is flood. I don't know if there is. I don't know. Because, like, I assumed I could drag and drop from here, but that's not how that works. And I can't seem... Nope, that's the wrong button. Nope, didn't want to go in there. Didn't want to go in there. Stand. Back to stand. Oh god, it is sweaty in here. Ew. Because these don't drag. They can open. But oh. Hey, okay. The higher the number, the higher this category appears. Okay. Okay, so you can get to the position from the manager. It is hidden in the furthest sub reaches because you actually no, you can hit it here. Okay, you can get it to it here. Okay, I don't have to have it expanded, which is good. Because if I have to do it manually, I will. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I'll basically just do them in reverse order. I'll just give like this one 20, I'll make it 25 just to give myself wiggle room in case I advance the setting, advance the setting another like 20 years or something. 25. And then I'm going to check to make sure it's gone to the top. Because it should now go from 4th to 1st. If I do that. Yes! Okay, and then the next era is continuance. Nope. Which is here. It's already in 2nd. Well, apparently, but I think that's in alphabetical. No? What's happening? It was already in 2nd, but now it's in 3rd. So it needs to go to 24. Then after continuance is destruction, which is 23. And now that should have put those 3 in order. Yes. And luckily I can hover over them and they will tell me which one's next. It goes redemption, and then it goes something else. I've already forgotten. Redemption, conquest, plague, collapse. I think. Into a video game. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it. I definitely need to think of a story to make a video game of first, and also I need to be good at making video games. These are all steps that need to be taken. But I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. 21. Plague is 20. Then it's collapse is 19. These should now be in order. Yeah, I think I do want to go into each and use linear, because then once because at the moment they're just stubs for the purposes of other articles. They're used for other people, like for other articles that aren't about the timelines. So I can just link to, you know, I mentioned that a date happened in Redemption, and I can just link to the era of Redemption. You can hover over it and it tells you the basic gist. And then in future, I'll come back to all of these and expand on them. I'll mention things that happened in each of them, like the event that started them, the event that ended them, you know, things that happened in it, if anything happened. Sometimes something happens. And then I will also make them linear. And I would have done that while I was making them, but I feel like that would have maybe gotten extremely tedious. And I don't want to do too much tedium at once. So where am I up to? I got up to collapse. After collapse is what? Collapse, then it goes into peace. After peace is... okay, so peace, flood, drought. I'll finish this and then we'll go and raid, Ryder Greg. Shit, what number are we up to? Oh, we're up to 18, right? 18. So peace, flood is 17. Drought is 16. After drought is, I think, renewal? Drought goes into renewal, which goes into plenty, which goes into war. I almost know my own calendar. Renewal is now 15. Renewal goes into plenty, which goes into war, which is 13, which goes into reconciliation, which goes into thawing, goes into thawing, which goes into collision. I've immediately forgotten what number that is. Okay, so it's 11. So thawing is 11. Collision is 10. Then its ascent is 9. We're getting there. Ascent is 9. Discovery is 8. Discovery is 8. Discovery leads into plague or peace? Plague or peace? Plague or peace? Which of them comes from discovery? Growth. Hold on a minute. Discovery leads into growth. I didn't already do growth, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, 7. Is it then growth into... Is it growth into famine? Shit. God, I just did these. Okay, growth into famine, into disturbance, into thing into thing. I know some of these. This is 6. Growth, famine, into disturbance, into contact, into return, and that is the present era, and that is number 3 somehow. Don't question it. I think Australia is so far away, maybe the cash crops would be shifted toward things that could be transferred online, like movies, games, technologies. You might think so, but that's not what we do. We are our technology sector isn't great. Unfortunately, our tech sector isn't good. Like, in terms of, like, there are definitely Aussie companies doing cool shit, like gaming companies. Like, I think Team Cherry, which is the Hollow Knight team, they're Aussies. I think they're from Adelaide. Summerfall Games, which is making Chorus, which is, it has one of the Dragon Age, David Gator? He's on that. They're based in Australia. But like, if you ask about Australian gaming companies, most people will talk about Bondi Games, which things did not go well for Bondi Games. Put it that way. Bondi Games being the guys, the team who made LA Noire, and things went very, very poorly for poor Bondi Games. They got super, things did not go well for them, because they literally made the one game and then went bankrupt. So Aussie gaming, not great, especially because all of our games are more expensive. Like, people in America complain that games are now like $70 or something, and I'm like, dude, I pay $100 for a PS5 game these days. Get on my level. That shit's expensive. Games cost money here. It's disgusting. But it would be cool, unfortunately. It would be cool if we did more tech stuff, but I think because, like, we're just gonna end up staying mostly a farming country. Assuming that we stop selling coal, but good luck with that. Stock market leads. Sure, I wouldn't know. I'm gonna check all these in order. Beginnings, continuance, destruction, redemption, conquest, blade, collapse. I think everything's in order. Everything is in the right spot. And so now we have these, and then I can go through old articles and chuck links in instead of having to do tooltips doing math. Not that the math is bad, it's just that I don't like doing it. This is also annoying me, but I can't do anything about that. Okay, so now it's 10 past 1, which means that we're actually past the time that I usually go for, because we're supposed to finish. Oh god. And we just got a host from Anya. Thanks, Anya. I don't know if you're in chat, but thanks, Anya. Your timing is unfortunate. Because since it's 1:10, my streams actually end at 1 a.m. Oh, god damn it, Greg's in an intermission. Damn it, Greg! Greg! He'll be back in like a minute, right? I was gonna eat, actually. I was gonna have snacks. I have a snack. I was gonna stay up like an extra hour, but I don't stream for that last hour. My last hour is when I do a bunch of, like, bullshit. I chill out for an hour and then I go to bed. That's the way this works. But it means that I cannot begin the hour of chill until I raid. And so, what I will do is, so that is my raid call. It is get ready. I'm telling you in advance so that you can use toast slices, which is the channel points, and it has a toast icon now. You can use the toast points to claim the emote if you do not already have it. You can claim my flaming toast. Yeah. And we shall raid Writer Greg in all caps. All caps, you will raid Writer Greg. So, thank you all very much for coming. I hope you guys had a lovely time, you know, just chilling out, chatting about, I don't know what we were doing. I've already forgotten, and I'm the one streaming, so that doesn't bode well. But I hope you all had a good time. I hope you have plenty of fun. Writer Greg streams are way more productive than mine are, so if you want to actually get stuff done, you're going to a good place, trust me. And I will see you all hopefully around in the future. Goodbye. Bye.